Hello and welcome back to TF1C, the Formula 1 chat. We're here to talk about the Formula 3 finale. What a mental conclusion to the Formula 3 season this was indeed.
It was a hectic weekend.
Congratulations, Victor Martins, on his championship win, of course, as well.
Anyone wants to win a championship with so much confusion and controversy,
strange.
but he got across the line in the end.
Yeah.
Up until that point, it was a fantastic weekend of great racing action. Bit annoying that the championship was decided off the track.
I mean, we usually go quali, sprint race. Are we going to keep the structure, or do we just bounce between drivers?
Keep the structure, so we can go through the story of the weekend.
Fair enough.
How the championship ebbed and flowed as we travelled through Friday, Saturday and Sunday.
Indeed it did.
On the Friday, and it wasn't a championship contender that took pole, it was Alex Smoljar. Great lap from him.
Yeah.
Then Maloney took P2 with Stanek in P3.
We'll talk about Smoljar later, but let's just say he's not on anyone's good.
So we have 5 of the 6 championship contenders starting in the top 5 when we got to the Sunday. We've got Smoljar in P1. Then you have Maloney P2, Stanek P3, Victor Martins P4, Leclerc P5, Oliver Bearman took P6.
Different
Anatoly P7, another fantastic lap
Anatoly's weekend
from him.
Superb.
Yeah.
Absolutely smashed it this weekend. Very, very impressive.
Crawford P8, Edgar P9, and
Who is P10?
Marty in P10.
Yeah. Most annoying driver of the weekend, Marty, because he's not clearly used to fighting with the big guys.
Then it was Colette
kind of got in the way.
And Franco Colapinto found himself on reverse grid pole.
Yes, of course, after there was a penalty for one Manuel Correa, so
Colapinto
annoying.
Took that pole into the Saturday and took a lights to flag victory in the sprint race.
It wasn't really as easy as that, but yeah,
great result
on paper, brilliant.
Did nail the safety car restart, drove a phenomenal race. Oliver Bearman taking P2, charging up the field to keep his championship hopes alive.
That double overtake around the outside of the first corner on, was it Colette and Maloney?
Yeah.
And
speaking of those two, Colette took the final pole
around the outside of both of them in the
P4
first corner.
Maloney climbed up the order to keep his championship hopes alive. Edgar P5, Gregoire Saucy took a good P6 with a double Prema 7-8.
I've not seen Saucy since the first round. He's disappeared into obscurity.
Crawford P7, Leclerc P8, Marty P9, and Victor Martins on the final lap nicking a point after he found himself in the gravel trap after 3 corners. How he managed to get back up into the points, phenomenal drive from him. And in a season like that championship, for all he knew on the Saturday, that 1 point could be massive. Turns out it wasn't, but you never know.
Yeah, well,
very hectic.
It could have been, because if you look at it, even after the penalties and stuff, that left the championship gap between Maloney and Martins at, let me have a look at the championship, at like 5 points, I believe it was. Yeah, 5 points, 134 to 139. If Ollie Bearman had been able to go on and win, which, I mean, he did go around the outside of Maloney only to be pushed off, potentially that should have been a penalty, just saying.
I think.
Then the championship goes another way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So that point is massive.
What I'll say, so what we had is there was chaos up and down the grid. Yellow flag, safety cars to the lot. It was about 3 quarters. It was lap 18 of 22.
Is this the sprint or feature?
Feature.
Okay, we're just moving on to the feature now.
That's what I'm saying, because he's talking about you got into bet. So it was it was absolute carnage, moves up and down the field.
We'll start from the start.
I was going to go
Yeah,
through.
go on, lap 18 if you want.
18, you had your podium of Maloney, Bearman, Martins.
Yeah.
Kushmini has a little spinala, and Brad Benavides doing very Brad Benavides-y things.
There's not much Brad can do to avoid that.
He thought he could get through behind him, but there wasn't the gap. Kushmini was trying to reverse off the racing line, which is the right thing to do. Brad Benavides, rather than take the racing line, thought he could get through.
Well, if he took the racing line, he would crash into him. It's only when he stopped. He wasn't reversing, it was just going across the track with momentum.
Get a broke.
So Benavides thought he could get around him. But no, unfortunately Benavides took out then the rear of Kushmani
So
and
you've
took
got-
the barrier with them.
You've got both them in the wall.
I think, yes, obviously they have to bring out the red flag. That's fine. How the race wasn't resumed, though, stuns me.
We had 5 laps to go. We had a championship to be decided. The fact they decided to not resume the race was
These
very interesting
drivers
choice.
pay millions and millions to race in this series, and they
F2
can't continue the race because we need to do the drivers' parade or whatever they're doing. They need to
F2
do
was
for F1.
pushed back anyway because they had to
Sit around waiting for
sit
penalties
around
and
waiting
stuff.
for
Yeah.
penalties and the whole controversy and the whole count back thing.
And you have all
And
the
then
things
you
that
had
go with F1 and
hours
stuff.
before F1.
Well, yeah, you've got all the formalities. You've got the drivers' parade. You've got when they just send the paddock club people round. I think.
But
Don't they
it,
do
it
that? I
would have
can't
been
remember.
quicker to resume
They
the
do,
race
but yeah.
because F2 got pushed back anyway. It'd been quicker to resume the race and let the drivers decide it from a rolling or standing start.
I mean, yeah, Martin still gets his 5-second penalty. If anything, that drops him lower.
Yeah.
Bearman has a chance to go for the lead, which he deserved. He would have got it if there wasn't a red flag. I'm very sure of that. He was on the back of Maloney for laps. And, yeah, had the DRS. Would have got him if Maloney didn't push him off.
And when you
And the fact that Maloney's, by the way, not been penalised at all this season for things like that. I can't remember an instance where there's been so many times he's hit Bearman and nothing happens. It's just, yeah.
Well, he got a 10-second time penalty in Britain.
As Bearman was saying on the radio,
It does seem
Maloney
that Maloney and Bearman
always
clearly
hits him.
have something against each other, or there's something there, because those two have just been.
I think Maloney's
involved in
fast, but
so
he's
many
just
incidents.
not a great driver wheel to wheel.
Yeah, but I know it's really only Oliver Bearman who's really had, unless he decided to shove up the inside.
But he's never been anywhere near anyone else. He's just always been near Ollie Bearman.
But yeah, so Bearman, and obviously when you're racing in Formula 3, anything could have happened. Yes, Martin's had a good gap back to Alatolo, but anything could have happened. He could have made an error, he could have spun, he could have got punted off by Maloney. That's a very high possibility.
Very likely.
But last, we didn't get going, and it left us with a standing order of Maloney winning the race, Bearman P2, Crawford P3, Martin's dropped back to P4 with 5 seconds.
It was weird to see Crawford on the podium. I feel like it's not
How
happened
he
at
got
all
there.
this year.
Yeah.
Genuinely, if you look for
I
his
was
results,
happy with that.
the last time he picked up a podium was his sprint race win in Spielberg. Didn't even remember he won that one.
I do. It was raining.
Other than that, another sprint race win at Barcelona. That's all he's kind of done this year. 109 points though. Not a tally
tally.
to be sniffed at.
No.
I think all of the top 7, other than Arthur Leclerc, deserve a spot in F2 next season.
Yeah. But yeah, Victor Martin's P4 was enough for him to take the championship. Just run through the rest of the top 10. Arthur Leclerc P5, Stanek P6, William Alatolo P7. Great finish to the season for him. Johnny Edgar took P8. Isack Hadjar managed to climb to P9, but his qualifying really ruined him the whole weekend and cost him his championship. And Rish Ushijima didn't realise it happened, got into P10.
Brilliant to see though.
He's just everywhere.
As much as obviously this is disappointing that the championship ended in the way it does, realistically this doesn't make a difference to the next step. All of these drivers should be making this up. You could argue that maybe Bearman or Maloney might stick around in F3 another year.
Because I think
Depends on
if
what becomes available.
If Bearman stays around another year, he will waltz that championship, a bit like Oscar Piastri.
Yeah, so why not just bump him up now? Prema are going to have a spare seat. If they put Arthur Leclerc in that, it is a disgrace, by the way.
That is his name. And I don't get how Leclerc's still he's not a good enough driver.
No, I mean, he's, 7 years older than Bearman? I believe it is.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're still in the same championship, and I know obviously Martin's is 21, so it's not like he's a spring chicken relatively either, but he could still be in Formula 1 by the age of 22, 23 if he was to go on and do what the likes of Piastri have done in Formula 2. So I don't think I think Martins deserves that step up. Obviously, Maloney as well. I'd say Bearman should be shot straight up as well.
Definitely.
I mean, Maloney also just a young rookie, so yeah, I think why not? If they're good enough, they're old enough, just send them up. There's seats in F2 opening up. You imagine we won't see the likes of Yuri Vips, Teo Pourchaire, obviously Felipe Drugovich. I think I'd rather see these drivers be given a shot up at F2 than see Ollie Caldwell for another year.
Oh,
So I imagine he will be there next season, won't he?
I don't know. Yeah.
We'll probably do an F2 driver lineup video in the
Yeah.
not too distant future, probably the next few weeks, to try and give our predictions to where everyone's going to end
Just
up.
go through how the championship protagonists all finished up.
So, of course, it was Victor Martins, as we mentioned, winning the championship. 139 points. Very impressive season for Martins, it has to be said. I do think, though, first half of the season, Martins deserved to win the championship. After that, didn't see him. After Spain, he wasn't there. I think Maloney had a really good run of form right at the end of the season, but other than that,
3 feature races on the bounce.
Yeah, and a P2 before that in the feature race. So incredibly impressive late season form. Bearman, I'd say he's consistent across the season.
Yeah.
He got quite unlucky at Imola. He got unlucky at Bahrain to not take the P1. His inexperience cost him at Imola as well. He should have won the feature there, but burnt the tyres up too quickly and then had that weird moment with
the Oliver Bearman
many drivers.
That was raced at Monza doesn't make the mistakes that the Oliver Bearman did at Bahrain.
But how calm he was under that red flag and speaking on the radio, it's mental. I'd be losing my head.
You're not
no, evidently not. No, that would be terrible. And Monza as well.
Yeah.
Bearman needed 7 points at Monza to win this championship.
What did he finish on the end?
Sorry, Zandvoort.
What did he need? What did he finish?
132. So it was Maloney 134, 5 points by Martins, and then Bearman 132.
So close.
But that's just Zandvoort, not getting fucked over by the red flag in qualifying. Even if he'd qualified 8th, that would have been maybe 7 points in the sprint. That already puts him level in the championship than anything in the feature.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's hard to judge where they would have finished, but
things like that. It's always a 50-50. Obviously, not going to talk about it now, but it's a 50-50 red flags. You're taking the risk by going out that late. But should drivers be crashing?
I do just feel that there seems to be some drivers that get everything seems to go their way at times, and that is how you win championships.
I think that's just the rub of the green.
We've seen the same in Formula 2 this season, but we'll talk about that one later. So look out for that in about half an hour after this one. Hadjar 123 points though. I think that's harsh. Isack Hadjar I think was probably at times the best driver this season. Kind of fell away towards the end of the campaign for Hadjar. Yeah, nothing really since Spielberg, where he was obviously won the feature there. But an up and down campaign for Hadjar. Yeah. Very poor second half of the season though. Stanek really the opposite. In fact, I don't remember. How is Stanek there? I don't remember him at all this season. Is it the feature race at Imola where Bearman's inexperience cost him? He got P2 at Barcelona and he took pole there. Other than that, nothing. And he ended up 5th.
Just low consistency gets you far in these challenges.
Leclerc in 6th is a joke. I've not seen him all year do anything impressive. Crawford 7th has looked decent though. The Pat Colapinto's down in 9th.
He's had a great season.
He's looked really good, and I think that VAR team is clearly still adapting to learning how to be at this level.
If he's like in a Premier next year, I definitely think he'd be right up there.
I'd argue he should be in that Premier.
Yeah.
So, especially since you imagine Crawford and Bearman deserve that step up. 2 seats open up.
Will they kick out Hadjar and Aruvula?
No. I won't talk about that'll be a video for a separate time. We'll probably do that in the next few weeks actually. Because we have got a bit of a break now. Yeah. But obviously this is the end of the F3 season.
That's it for F3.
So perfect time to do that F2 lineups video, and that'll probably be out in the next few weeks without any F1.
What a season it's been! 10 races, 10 rounds, 20 races.
Yeah,
it's been
brilliant
phenomenal.
campaign. We'll probably do like a whole season review thing at some point as well. But brilliant campaign. Can't wait for more of the same next year. That's where we round it up.
Yes.
Very well done to Martins, well done to Maloney, well done to Bearman, well done to Hadjar, well done to Stanek. Brilliant campaign
to them. Prema for winning the team's championship.
Yes, if they're watching, big up yourselves, Prema.
Yeah.
You've done it again.
Last year was Trident, so change of hands.
I've reclaimed that.
Yeah.
For the first, and Martins, I saw this interesting stat. It's for the first time since it was rebranded as Formula 3 that someone not driving in a Prema has won the championship. So even bigger congrats to Victor Martins. But it's probably going to be Colapinto in the Prema next year that does it. Anyway, that is all for today. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.